What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and today we're starting a new review series, and we're going to talk about the Jurassic Park franchise as we get ready for Jurassic World Dominion. And to be honest, I'm excited about it, looking forward to it, but I have pretty low expectations because I was not a fan of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and I cannot wait to revisit that movie, which I haven't seen since theaters. I don't even own that one. I'm going to have to stream it or something, but I got to watch it again and suffer through it and do another review on Fallen Kingdom. I originally did one a long time ago when that first came out on my old channel, but I will have a new one for you all here. And I'm also going to review all of the ones I've never reviewed, starting with Jurassic Park, the 1993 classic. Ladies and gentlemen, I just watched it again yesterday, and I got one thing to say. It held up. I couldn't believe it. I do remember my theatrical experience. I've seen every single movie in theaters. Every Jurassic movie that ever's come out, I've seen in theaters. And I remember 1993, going to the movies. 13 years old. Just going to see another cool action movie about dinosaurs, right? I heard this one's going to have pretty good special effects. What the hell am I I was blown away by the CGI or whatever practical effects at times, because they wasn't all just CGI. They did have dinosaur models, but whatever the hell they did, oh my God, Spielberg, the whole team, I was blown away in the theaters just by that. They looked real. The dinosaurs looked like they were there. They looked how they would look, how we would think they would look, and it was just absolutely amazing. Watching it yesterday, thinking that with 20-something years, almost 30 years, 29 years of watching different movies and the evolution of CGI and how good it's supposed to be now, that I thought I would watch this one because I hadn't seen this one for a while. Hadn't been since 93, but it's been 4 or 5 years since I've seen it. I thought, okay, for sure, I'll kind of notice. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to see if I can notice. I couldn't tell. I ain't going to lie, I couldn't tell. It looked amazing. It even looks better than the newer Jurassic Park movies and Jurassic World. What's going on? They all look great. This is one franchise that has not gone to crap with their, digital effects and special effects and CGI. It all has always looked pretty good, but I feel like Jurassic Park, the original, is one of the best ones. Really, I'll let you know as I go through and revisit the entire franchise, but just after watching this, I was blown away at that. So I had to just start with that. The two standouts. The two things that stood out, as great as this movie is, and I'm going to get into all of the things I love about it, because clearly you can tell I like it. The music, though, the score has to be, if not the best, it's up there. Top 10, one of the best scores in movie history. If you look and see who did the music for Jurassic Park, it's none other than the legendary John Williams, who did, of course, Star Wars. This man is a gift to humanity. What he has done with music for movies is unbelievable. But it was John Williams who composed this score for Jurassic Park, and it is just amazing, and it's so emotional. It hits at the right moments. It's more than just a great score, also the editing and everything that goes into using it at the right time with the right volume, all perfect. And I really love this one because it doesn't just hit the ground running, dinosaurs everywhere, popcorn, just action, just sit back, turn off your brain type movie at all. It's not like that. This movie builds up and has a logical reason why John Hammond is starting this theme park. He explains some of his backstory. This is kind of a lifelong dream of his. He wanted to start a theme park that people could actually see something amazing, touch something amazing, not just go on a little ride. And this was a dream of his, and that's why he's so passionate about it. And in denial, even after the dinosaurs start killing everyone, he's still thinking that, we can make this work. And that moves on, of course, to the sequel, which we'll get to later. But it has a basis in reality, and even the scientific aspect of it. It explains to us, even though I know scientists might watch this and be like, yeah, BS, that wouldn't work. Sure, but even we understand it, probably, there's more to it than what it shows us. But, explaining how, because at first, how the hell would you bring dinosaurs back? You can't. Wait a minute. DNA, the mosquitoes, they get caught in the sap. You extract the DNA. They even explain how, there's little gaps in the DNA, but they took a frog DNA to fill in the gaps so they could actually create dinosaurs. Holy shit. Good enough for me. Let's go. What do I know, right? I mean, you're watching the movie. I sounded a little bit like Ian Malcolm right there. I was like, right? I mean, we watch the movie, we see what's going on, and then we even get to see the birth of one of the little dinosaurs cracking open the egg. I would be just like him. I would be just like him. I love animals and stuff, watching the little birth come out of the shell. Oh, come on now. Come on now. You get a little giggling and stuff over the birth of the little dinosaur. That was really cute. And of course, come to find out that was a velociraptor, and it's probably going to kill a bunch of people. But anyway, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I really love this film and how it introduces its characters, like Sam Neill's character, Dr. Grant, and how, you know, he's not a fan of kids, doesn't really like kids. And then later on in the movie, of course, he has to deal with the two little children at the theme park. Dr. Grant, when he first meets the kids, it's actually a little bit annoying to him, but it's actually funny. The way the kid follows around asking questions. He finally gets away from them. The little girl, she told me to ride with you because it'd be good for you. And it's really cute, the little kids. And they do some stupid things later, which you would think kids would do. You know, with the flashlight and stuff, and you're sitting there like watching, like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? Put away the freaking flashlight. Stop, just sit there. Stop. And the scene where the glass is on top of him and the dinosaur is down on there trying to get him. Now, I mean, that's just, I mean, the terror right there. You don't know. There's a couple of ones the kids are in danger. I mean, first time watcher, you really don't know. You don't think they're going to kill off one of the kids, right? But it gets pretty scary. I mean, the kid gets electrocuted. That was another part of the movie. The tension is just insane. You're like, oh my gosh, she's slowly turning on the power, right? Unbeknownst, of course, that one of the kids is, why would she know? How could she know? John Hammond doesn't know either. That the kid is sitting there, they're climbing over that, powered fence, but right now it's off. Which reminds me of another hilarious moment, by the way. There is some comedy in the movie I'll talk about here a little bit later, but I love a part where, Dr. Grant and the two little kids down there, he grabs the fence. This scares the hell out of him. That was a little mean, but it was hilarious. Laura Dern's character is also great in this. Dr. Sadler, she is awesome. Very good character, very strong character, very funny and entertaining as well. And just the whole cast. But you got to give a shout out to, I think, the funniest guy in the movie, Dr. Ian Malcolm, was just great and a great casting choice. A guy, he kind of looks like a normal guy and everything, but he's actually a doctor, a very smart guy. He's funny, he makes jokes a lot, and they'll almost always land. They're actually funny and put at the right times. And he's actually the smartest one and the first one to kind of recognize that this is not a good idea. This is a terrible idea. And, he's fascinated at first like everyone else. He smiles and he's fascinated. But once you have a chance to sit down and think for 5 seconds, like, whoa, this is stupid. This is stupid. And I love his speech. Dinosaurs had their chance. Nature selected them for extinction. And we see him in later sequels, including Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. One of the very few scenes I actually liked in that movie was his scenes, which are very few and far between. But yeah, I mean, he's a great character. The whole cast is fabulous. Watching the whole story unfold, and the whole reason why it didn't work out is specific. Why it would not work out? Now, eventually, it probably would not have worked out. Eventually, a tragedy would have happened. But we want everything to be wrapped up in a nice little tight movie, so there had to be something going on to cause it to go wrong, and that's where Newman comes in. Or shall I say, Dennis in this movie. Newman! Dennis is a guy who is, not happy with his pay. He's having, arguments with John Hammond. Really cool, fun scenes when they get in little arguments here. And anyway, he is going to try to steal some embryos, and he has to shut down everything for a few moments in order to pull off his plan. And that is why everything goes into chaos and why some dinosaurs are able to escape. And it's just, the whole scene is just so entertaining. It's so fascinating. The whole build-up, the tension, the moments where you don't know when jump scares in this movie are true jump scares, not some bullshit horror movie that you see it coming a mile away. You see it coming, and everything is silent. Music stops. You're like, oh, here it comes. Yep. Not here. Not here. You have no clue when it's going to happen. And you're kind of anticipating, like, some dinosaurs jumping out. Doesn't happen. Then you kind of forget about it. You're just watching the movie. Looks like everything's going to be okay. Oh, my God! There are several awesome jump scares. The one with the goat falling onto the vehicle. And so many moments. Now, the film is just edge of your seat. Awesome, unbelievable movie. And for 1993, the fact that it still holds up today, it was a great watch. I would suggest if you haven't seen it for a while, watch it. Prepare for the new one. Watch this movie, Jurassic Park, the original. I don't really have a whole lot of negatives. I will say that some of the humor in it, maybe not my favorite. I'd say 90% of the jokes were good and that made me laugh. There's not a whole lot of joke cracking during tense moments that nobody would really do. We see that happen more as this franchise moves along. There's a couple, but they actually make sense in the context. It's not like dinosaurs are chasing you, you're running and you're joking. There's a couple of moments like when Ian Malcolm is on the ground. He's been taken out. He's hurt. He's got a tourniquet on. He's in bad shape. They find him. He says, remind me to thank John for a lovely weekend or something like that. It's a joke he would make in that scenario. The kids make a few jokes maybe you wouldn't think kids would make, but it's not while they're getting chased by the dinosaurs. It's when things have calmed down. So they have a humorous personalities, and it's actually not cringe at all. I don't think. Maybe one or two of the jokes are not my favorite, but it's not bad at all. And that's really it. I mean, there are quite a few lucky moments. I mean, you watch the movie and at some point you're like, dude, these are about the luckiest people ever, because they escape sure death 5, 6, 7 times. So if that's going to be an annoyance, that could be something that, okay, that's the only criticisms I could even find for this, and I have to stretch to find them. But other than that, dude, I love this movie. This movie is an absolute knockout, home run. Love Jurassic Park, the original, and I can't wait to talk about the rest of them and give my ranking. I'll do that after the new film, though, Jurassic World Dominion. Please don't suck, even though I kind of expected. But what did you guys think of the original Jurassic Park? I'm going to say this movie is a freaking masterpiece. When you combine the music with the story, with the CGI, with the acting, with the humor, with the insane tension throughout this movie, the payoffs that you get. There is some deaths. It's not like you don't get to see some people get eaten by dinosaurs too. They went there. They went there. If it wasn't for that, I'd take it down a notch or two. I'd be like, nobody even died. No. Someone's going to die. At least one person I remember. Gotta go, you gotta go. And I love the setup, even though it's not a major. They didn't have to have a sequel. This could have been as is, but it made sense for John Hammond to try again, because he really wanted that. Even at the end, he was like, you know what? We're going to do this one more time. This time I've learned my lesson. He was even saying it in this movie. So when he goes on the next movie saying, I've learned my lessons, I'm going to start again, I'm not going to make the same mistakes. And I'll talk about that hilarious response that Ian Malcolm had for him when he said that in the sequel. But it actually makes sense that he would do it again, because his character in this film, when you finish this film, you're like, oh, I hope he doesn't try again, because it kind of feels like he might. It all makes sense. This is just a great movie, absolute masterpiece, highly recommended. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below of Jurassic Park. Are you looking forward to Jurassic World Dominion? Can't wait to talk about it. It might be a super ranch. We'll see. You guys have a great day. Hit the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. We'll talk to y'all next time.